Gaffer, pre-season friendly out of the way out here in Austria against SV Ried. What did you make of it overall?
It was a tough game for us after a tough week for the players. Tactically, they gave us a lot of problems, especially in the first half. But when we just adjusted our press, we sort of we stopped that flow a little bit through their midfield, and gradually grew into the game better. We had a couple of chances. The goal, obviously, we conceded. The first attack is disappointing, so we have to look at that. But as we grew into the game, we made subs. We had a few subs planned, as Kavanagh coming off after 30 minutes. That's his first game back after a little injury. Brad coming off after 45 minutes. These are all planned. So there's no issues there. We're really pleased that we've got through the full week where everyone's available to train when we get back to England. So once we got all of that, I thought technically they were sharp. Their first game is this next week, so it was a good challenge for us.
You mentioned it being the end of a tough week for the players. As you mentioned earlier, physically and mentally, it's been tough, it's been challenging for the players. Did we see the rewards of that a little bit today? And as we move through pre-season, are you pleased to be able to give players more minutes? Alex Gilly had 90 minutes today, Clark Boudoir just over 80 minutes. Is the camp helping in that sense, and have we seen elements of that in today's game?
I wouldn't say it's now. I think the way we're preparing the pre-season is for the next 10 months. So, if we were preparing for this game only or for next week's game, then it would have been a completely different pre-season. But we're not. We're preparing these lads for 50 games for 10 months to the endurance race that the EFL is week in, week out, Saturday, Tuesday. This is what it's for. It's getting that base level fitness as high as you can. Now we start refining it. Now we start sharpening the players up. But we didn't really want to do it this week. We did this morning and yesterday. We came off them a little bit. But the previous 3-4 days, it's been 3 and 4 sessions a day because we need to make sure that we keep as many players as fit, not just available, but as fit to win. You need a lot of juice in the legs to do that. So we know as we refine the training now for the next 2 weeks, and in 3-4 weeks' time, and in 3-4-5 months' time, this group will be a resilient group and fit as anyone.
Plenty of our supporters out here today. There's been a few over the course of the week as well who have been with us in close quarters. How good is it to be able to bond with them in that sense and spend time with them, like we say, at close quarters, for them to be able to see you guys and the players up at close quarters, and like I say, for them to have that experience and for you to see them in the stands cheering on their team on the other side of the continent? Yeah,
it's the first time really I've had this, because I've been to Obertraun with every club I've managed really, and it's the first time I've had a travelling sport like this. It's fantastic, and there's been a few boys that have been around the campus for the last 2 or 3 days. It's been open for them to sit and watch us train. They've been in the restaurant with us at lunchtime and meal time, so they've seen the players up close, and they've seen the work they do on the training pitch. They've been pleasantly surprised by how intense they work, how they compete, the speed of how they train and everything, and the work that they do in the training that leads into the game. So I think it's been a really good insight for those guys. And then obviously that was maybe 5 or 6 people, and then as we come to match day, trickling in, getting a little bit louder around the bar up at the campus, and then coming down here, seeing them all over there, and seeing the flags up behind the goals. It's a fantastic support, to be fair, and having a picture with them at the end and mingling and having a chat. So I think they've had a good week as well. I don't think it's over for them. We're all going home tomorrow, but I think there's a few staying for a couple more days yet, and hopefully have a safe journey home. But it's great to see them. We thank so many of them for their support as possible.
You mentioned home tomorrow. Again, generally on the camp in terms of how the players have worked and been worked physically and mentally. How do you reflect on it? There's been, like you mentioned, 3-4 sessions. Some days, first thing in the morning to sort of last thing at night, with each other 24 hours a day. Has it been a success, and will we see the rewards of it, like we say, when we get home over the next few weeks before the season starts?
Yeah, I believe so, but the proof of the pudding will be the season. That's the thing. It's like I say, it's not getting to the end of the week and saying, right, this was a fantastic week, and then we work on. We have to this is the base for the rest of the season. Part of the base. We've obviously worked for 2.5-3 weeks in England as well, and including the off-season programme that the players did well. But we've challenged the players in different ways, mentally, physically. You know, the early mornings, the late days, the long days, to see how they react to that stimulus, that sort of pressure, the tiredness, the fatigue. You know, they're not used to that sort of timetable. So it's when players are fatigued and stripped back, then you see the real character coming through. And I've been delighted that they've thrown everything into every session. There's been moans and groans along the way, but honestly, there's not been one camp. And I was here 25 years ago, and I'm moaning and groaning like a good one as well. So it's part of it. But as long as the work is still completed and done at the right levels, that's all you want from it. And certainly the players have done that. So it's like I said, I don't want to repeat, but it's not about this week. It's not about this weekend. It's not about Sunderland on Tuesday. It's about where we are at the end of the season after 50 games, and this will play a big part. I know it is because of we've experienced this before, and we've referenced it many times throughout the upcoming season or the fourth. In times when we've been challenged, physically tired, we always reference this time. Well, not as tired as you were back then, and you were still up and alive for the next day, kicking on, and that's what it's about.